And we're recording. It'll take a few minutes for the folks to file in, yeah.
Do you want to share, Carolyn, with the welcome page?
Sure.
Ooh, look how pretty.
Oh, nice.
I'm so excited about the fountain.
Give Dr. Favia credit for doing this.
This
was
a
beautiful.
It was a joint effort. It was a joint effort.
I love it. I'm hoping to do, when we do the in-person days, I'm hoping to have that's one of the sign-ins right here near the fountain because it's such a beautiful spot. Okay, so we're waiting just a minute or two to make sure that we can grab everybody who is filing in here. I see the participants ticking up slowly but surely. So I'm gonna go ahead and welcome everybody. Welcome to Zoom with Bloom and tonight's session with the Zeigler College of Business. We are here in anticipation of your upcoming, hopefully, visit to campus. We are so excited to be welcoming folks to campus again for new student orientation. So those are coming up in just 2 weeks. So in order to prepare you for some of what will happen during those orientation days, we're hosting these Zoom with Bloom sessions so you can get to talk to some of the faculty members in these different colleges at the university and learn more about your programs of study, what kinds of classes you're going to be taking and why, and some other kinds of details that will help you understand what's going on a little better when you arrive on campus in a couple of weeks. So I'm Rebecca Willoughby. I am the Executive Director for Student Success and First Year Experience. That is a very fancy way of saying that our office takes care of all kinds of things for first year students. So we run orientation, we run the first year seminar, the learning communities, and a bunch of other things that you will encounter as a first year student here at Bloomsburg. So I'm going to be acting sort of as our MC this evening, and I'm joined tonight by two of our illustrious faculty from the College of Business, Dr. Monica Favia and Dr. Carolyn Lamacchia. I'm also joined by my colleague Elena Lockhart from Academic Advisement, which is one of the other hats that I wear. And if you are most folks in this session are liable to be College of Business students, but if you happen to know someone who is undeclared, or if you're undeclared yourself, we start to use the word exploratory for those students. You'll see much more of Elena and I when you come to campus for orientation. In the meantime, I am gonna since I've hammered home orientation so much already, I'm just gonna throw out a reminder there that if you haven't registered for orientation already, you should. Those registrations are currently available on the orientation page on the BU website. And if you get registered for our in-person orientation, we will be seeing you on campus. You can also register for virtual. If you prefer virtual or if you can't make it to campus during those days in June, we can still certainly provide you with all the information that you're going to need to prepare for your eventual arrival on campus in August. So with all of that said, I'm going to sort of turn it over to Dr. Favia and Dr. Lamacchia, and they're going to walk you through this beautiful PowerPoint and give you some more information about the Zeigler College of Business.
Okay. So Dr. Favia, introduce yourself.
Well, she already did, but that's okay. So I'm Dr. Monica Favia, and I'm the chair of the Department of Marketing and Professional Sales.
And I am Carolyn Lamacchia, and I'm the chair of Information Technology, Analytics, and Business Education. We have the ITM major in our department and the Business Education major in our department.
So our agenda for this evening is, first of all, we're going to give you an overview of the Zeigler College of Business. We're going to talk a little bit about your schedules and why, if you've already looked on My Husky, you will see you have courses in your schedule already, why those courses are already scheduled for you, why they're on your schedule. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the requirements for business students. We're going to talk about the Zeigler Institute for Professional Development, ZIPT. We're going to talk a little bit about your faculty advisors, very briefly about student groups, and we will go over the listing of the upcoming orientation days. So, brief overview of the Zeigler College of Business. First thing, if you don't know this about the Zeigler College of Business, it is we are AACSB accredited, okay, and worldwide, only about 5% of business schools are accredited by AACSB. It's considered to be the premier accreditation for a college of business or for a business program. So here we have a variety of different types of disciplines and programs you can major, specialize in, or minor in, including accounting, finance, information technology management, marketing, supply chain management. A number of kudos for the Zeigler College of Business is that the accounting major boasts a CPA pass rate in the top 15% nationally. Okay. Finance has recently added a new concentration in personal financial planning. They have a state-of-the-art finance lab on the first floor of Sutliff. The professional sales major that I head up is the only sales-focused major in the state of Pennsylvania. It's been also named by the Sales Education Foundation as one of the top there's about 100, there's a little over 100 now, over 100 top sales programs in all of North America. We've had some recent donor gifts that have supported the relatively new major in supply chain management and the establishment of the Nicholas Javray Center for Supply Chain Management. Carolyn?
Okay, schedules. Our departments have been busy scheduling you folks in your freshman classes. You will see a number of classes in your schedule, and we ask that you do not change those schedules because we are trying to schedule you for success. There is a number of classes that are prerequisites for other classes within your major, and we're trying to get you to graduate as soon as possible. So what we did is we scheduled you for some classes, and in some cases we gave you some choices for general education. And I'll continue here to show you that we have a number of categories of classes that you will participate in. We have general education required classes. We have general education elective classes, business core classes, business electives that you could use possibly towards a minor, and then we have your major or specialization classes. So this is a total group of about 120 credits that you will need in order to claim your diploma, which we're very excited for you to claim in about 4 years. Now, the information about what classes you need is posted to the website, and your advisor has that information. But it is a bit of a, what I would call a critical path that you need to follow in order to get from the beginning to the end, because there's certain classes that include skills that are needed in order for you to progress. So what we are trying to work with you is to get you into classes that you need early on that support your education later on in the process. So, and I'll continue in this.
Can I say something real quick, Carolyn? Dr. Lamacchia, just one, if, because I've had a couple of students who have contacted me, if you are one of those students who had took some type of AP course through a community college, and you're waiting for a transcript to be sent over, and you go, well, I think I took that class at wherever, and you're waiting for the transcript, and you now have it on your schedule. Contact either the chair of the department in your major or your advisor before you change anything out. Okay. So if you have something, contact, either again, the chair of your department or your advisor and say, I took this class and, we'll need the transcript. But at this point, make sure you let somebody know so that we are able to guide you into the most appropriate class to replace that with.
That's an excellent point, Dr. Fabia. Some of you folks are taking the AP test, and you may test out of different English or math classes, etc. And you may not need to take these classes, and we don't know about it yet.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but please don't change it without talking to us. And we're here to make your life as productive and as easy as possible. So we want to establish a partnership with you. So if you did take an AP test, or a lot of schools have been taking classes during their senior year at community colleges or even at Bloomsburg University through the ACE program, we want to know about that so that we make sure that your freshman schedule is as appropriate as possible. We want to minimize the number of courses that you need to take, and we want to get you on the road to graduation. So thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Fabia. There is 5 categories of classes, no matter what your major is in the College of Business. We have general education required classes, and this right column that I show you is a prerequisite possibility. And I have it there to be dramatic, I'll be honest with you, because I want you to know that if you take yourself out of those classes, you may get yourself off track of graduating on time, because some of those general education required classes, like for example, the economics macro and micro classes, they're a prerequisite for several different classes. So we want you to get them over with early on in your career so that you're able to graduate on time. So I have all the prerequisite possibilities listed on the right-hand side for every single category. So it's kind of a way to be dramatic, right, Dr. Fabia? And it's to please
underscore it. Don't change your schedule unless you consult with your advisor.
Change unless you talk to us, because we want the best for you. So you do have these general education required classes, and they are classes that most business majors need to take. It's not a lot of variety, which is wonderful in case you do change your mind about what business major you want to use. Then there's the general elective fun classes that you just need to finish before you graduate. There's the business core classes, which are just about the same for every business major. And these give you a broad sense of the business disciplines in industry, which is a very powerful component of having a bachelor's of science in business administration. You have an introduction to the language and ideas of accounting, finance, information technology, marketing, and management. So you have this broad basis, so you're able to apply your specialization skills to that area. You also get some business electives, which you can pursue a minor possibly, or just dabble in various business areas. And then you have typically 8 to 10 courses involved in your major or specialization. So all of this is a gigantic PERT chart or critical path that your advisor wants to help you maintain the lowest amount of time that you're in school so you graduate and you become successful quickly. On our website, every single major has a course sequence sheet that gives you a recommendation of what you need to take each semester. but sometimes students don't follow that path. So in order to not make any mistakes, we ask you, please don't change your freshman schedule, and please keep in touch with your advisor. So now we'll
talk about zipped. All right.
talk about zipped. Thank you, Dr. Fabia.
Okay, we call it zipped. It refers to the Zeigler Institute for Professional Development. Terry and Joanne Zeigler were kind enough to donate to this particular effort to develop the soft skills, the professional skills of students, so as to facilitate their transition to a a business environment, so that they would have some of those soft skills. So things like, networking experiences, and of course some of the basic things like how to interview, writing resumes, business etiquette, dining etiquette. A lot of what the ZIP program does is that it exposes you to professionals in the field that are really very, very happy to talk to you. The vast majority of them are Bloomsburg University alumni, and they come back and they are willing to donate their time so as to help you really serve as mentors to you guys through various speaking events, through the ZIP conference that happens in November, and other types of events that are held through the ZIPed program. Okay, participation in ZIPed is voluntary. You want to contact Mary Howe. She's in charge of ZIPed. I'm sure you will be getting more information about it. There are various perks to graduating and fulfilling all the requirements of the ZIP program that I know that Mary will be very happy to tell you about. The goal of it really is to develop your soft skills so that you are easily able to transition into a professional working environment.
And add
Yes.
a couple of things here.
Sure, go Karen.
Yes, if you do decide to participate in ZIP, you get something on your permanent transcript, your permanent record, and it looks good, right, Dr. Fabia?
Yeah.
It looks good to say I am a ZIPed professional development. You get the sash at graduation. And what I found very interesting by attending the conference each fall is that these alumni want to help students get jobs, and they want to help students get internships. And they do not mind students reaching out to them, and they will help place you. It's an incredible experience. I do recommend it highly.
Definitely.
Yes.
And we've been talking about your faculty advisors. Okay, so you most likely all have been assigned a faculty advisor. You can view who that person is specifically in MyHusky. Your faculty advisor is a faculty member from the department of your major or your specialization. Right now, so please do reach out to them with questions you may have. If, in the summertime, if you're unable to reach them, reach out to the department chair during the summertime. During the regular semester, do reach out to your faculty advisors for sure. Reach out to them during the summer as well. Many of them will respond during summer. Okay. If you are encountering any difficulty there during summer, do reach out to the department chair if you have a question about something. For example, we talked about the potential of having classes transferred in from a community college or some type of AP class, right? Now, your faculty advisor is going to help you navigate the appropriate courses. Part of the goal here overall, though, is for you to take some level. You will be learning about what's required as you go through orientation, etc. You'll be learning what is required. Part of the goal here is for you to have some level of responsibility for knowing what the requirements are eventually, and then reaching out to work with your advisor in conjunction with that you present a plan. So you're going to go before scheduling, not at the last minute. Remember, they are faculty, so they are teaching classes, and there's a lot of you. All right. So don't show up at the very last moment, but do come to your faculty advisor with a plan and say, here's what I'm thinking about next semester. How does the, excuse me, how does this look? Do you think I should consider something else? Or when it gets later in your career and you're saying, I'm thinking about an internship, what are some of the things that I should be considering? All right. So go to your advisor with specific questions and have some kind of a plan, as opposed to simply showing up and saying, I don't know what I should take next semester. What should I take? Okay. Come in with a plan, and then we can talk about your plan. Okay. But you can find out who that person is in My Husky, reach out to them, and if nothing else, introduce yourself.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Fabia. Establish a relationship with them. I know with a lot of my advisees, I help them with their resume, I help them with job placement, and we establish this friendship that extends beyond graduation. So it is important to establish a anchor with your advisor because they know the discipline. They know the curriculum, they know the university environment. They're there to help you and they want to help you. So don't be shy. And lots of us have several different options, don't we, Dr. Fabia? We meet with you in person. We'll talk to you over the phone. We'll do Zoom. We do whatever's convenient for you because we do enjoy working with you. Our favorite part of our job, and you can back me up on this, Dr. Fabia, is teaching and advising. That's the favorite part, isn't it?
Definitely.
Definitely.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. So please meet us halfway because we want to have a relationship with you. Okay. Oh, did I hit the
wrong direction?
Wrong direction. I'm the technology person.
Yeah.
So here's student clubs. Now, each of our majors in the College of Business have student clubs. Some of us have more than one student club, student organization. And our student organizations belong to typically international organizations. So they have a name on your resume. And what we do is activities that support both your major and what action is happening in this international organization. I would like Dr. Fabia to talk about her area, and I'll give an example of my area in information technology. What we have is an association with the international organization called the Association for Information Systems. And what we do with that organization is we go to competitions, which are fun, and we go to conferences, we make presentations, and we also work on a 3D printer lab where we create prosthetics for humanitarian efforts. So what happens with this student organization is, and I like to call it fun, food, and future. We have fun together. We eat a lot of food. We always, every meeting we have has a theme, and we all work together so that we can get jobs, we can get experience, we can put things on our resume, and we have a great time together. And it's a way of interacting and making instant friends. I have all sorts of students in my club. There's all different types of kids, and they just get along together and they're very accepting, and we just have a great time. Do you want to talk about some of your clubs, Dr. Fabia?
Sure. We didn't list them all because, quite honestly, there's a lot of them.
There's a zillion, yes. I mean, you can find you can find your niche. You can visit and figure it out and find your niche. But every major has a club. Also, the clubs accept majors from other areas. Like my club accepts majors from. We have people in accounting in my club. We have people in computer science, digital forensics. We have people, outsiders in our club. We don't care. We take everybody in and we have a great time.
And that's pretty much the same for any of the student organizations. They don't you don't necessarily have to be in that particular discipline to be a member of that organization. Now,
Yeah.
the in my department, the two organizations are the American Marketing Association. So we have a local chapter of that, and the AMA is the local organization. Their advisor is Dr. Tom Tanner, and they again also participate in regional and national conferences. One of the more exciting, the national conference is held in New Orleans, and so that one is particularly exciting for students to be able to go to. But there are a number of regional ones. They do. They've got. He takes them on field trips to ad agencies. So there's a variety of things that he gets the American Marketing Association group involved in. We also have a chapter of Phi Sigma Epsilon, PSE. They are the National Fraternity for Sales. They are a very old organization. But there's not there's not that many. You have to have a sales program to have a PSE chapter, quite frankly. So we're one of about 60, roughly 60 schools that have a chapter of PSE. Now, what's exciting, so the local groups, the local chapter participates in competitions, but what PSE does for their students is they have, through PSE, they have it's called the Pro-Am Sell-a-thon. They have a year-long sales competition where students compete at each part of the selling process. Students who succeed at the end, who do well at each of the early parts of the selling process, then have the ability to go to nationals and compete at nationals. PSE also has a number of corporate sponsors that are, again, this is a way of connecting with a company when you're looking for a job. All right, they have a number of corporate sponsors. They also offer not just internships, I'm sorry, but they offer scholarships also through PSE for sales students. So it's a really great organization. Not too many chapters nationally, but it's a very old old organization as well. The advisor to that is Professor Mike Hubin, and I'm sure he would be very, very happy to
A
have
nice
more
guy.
students join. Yes, and a very nice guy.
A very nice guy. Yeah.
I'll very briefly mention the one organization, Phi Beta Lambda, PBL. Phi Beta Lambda is the general business organization, if you will. It represents all of the disciplines within business. I'm not sure who their advisor currently is, but PBL, if any of you at the high school level were members of FBLA, PBL is the college level of that
Yes.
organization.
The
And so
business education faculty handle that. And
they
that's,
do? Okay.
yes, that's Dr. Force and Dr. Jeffrey.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure who, because
Well, it's in my department, so I know that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's been various people over the years.
Yes, there's a ton of clubs.
Mhm.
And if you notice, Dr. Favia keeps saying the word competition. And I hear it over and over and over again from recruiters that our students have the competitive spirit and the hardworking attitude and the grit they have what it takes to be successful. Don't you hear that a lot, Dr. Favia?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
And having competed at any kind of competition, regionally or nationally, having done that makes you stand out to a
Oh.
potential employer.
I brought some kids students, professionals to Florida, and 4 out of 5 got job offers just based on their behaviors. One didn't get it because they were too young. But
Right.
yes, they're observing and they're liking what they see. It's just a great way to get yourself exposed to employers, alumni, other folks, and it looks great on your resume, and it's something you can chit chat about during a job interview. And it's fun.
It
We
is.
have, yes, we have a lot of fun in our club meetings.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, there's fun, food, and the future. That's my 3 Fs.
I'll give you an extreme example because this particular student was really, really good. She was tops. I took one of my students to the it was National Collegiate Sales Competition at Kennesaw. And the year that this particular student went was 2019. She finished second out of 144 students nationally.
Big schools. I remember this,
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Fabia. Big credit to you.
They're good
You're
schools.
very humble, but there's a big credit to you for preparing.
Well, thank you. But she was, and I remember a couple of weeks after the competition, I asked her, I said, because there's a career fair there. There's like 40, 50 employers there. And so you can work the career fair and all of that, but they all get your resume. They all get your information. And I asked her a few weeks later, and this is an extreme example because she really was a star. I asked her a few weeks later, but it's something to strive for. It's something to go for, folks.
Sure.
I asked her a few weeks later, how many emails have you gotten from employers? How many contacts? And she said, she counted them and she told me 70. Can you imagine that? 70 employers who wanted to hire her because of her performance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
Now granted, she was a star, but it's something to shoot for.
And it's all about getting involved. We're here to help you. It's fun. We like it. Don't you, Dr. Fabia?
Oh, it's a blast.
It's the best part of our job.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best part of our job. And it helps you work with people. It gives you the exposure to go forward. It's a good thing. So look at your student clubs. You can find out about it with your advisor or come see the department chairs, right, Dr. Fabia?
Definitely.
They have some days where they, at the university, where they introduce clubs. But if you miss that day, don't give up. It's not like if I didn't join right at the beginning, I can't join later. Because some of us get busy at the beginning of the semester getting established. Just find out about it. There's no timeline. Don't be shy. Just do it. That's the biggest thing, is to just grab it and do it. There's no timeline. Right,
And
Fabia?
yeah, for sure. And the wonderful thing about many of the clubs is that you'll develop friendships there that in many cases will last nearly a lifetime. A lot of my former students, who met through the various clubs, they still all stay in touch, and they get
exactly.
I see them at each other's weddings on Facebook, etc.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah, they're lifelong friends.
mm-hmm.
Yes, the clubs are a great source of happiness for our students, I think, and opportunity.
For sure.
For sure. All right, let's see what we have next. This is the dates for orientation coming up. We have virtual sessions, and we also have in-person sessions, and then there's sessions for transfer students, and you will receive emails to sign up for these sessions. Does Dr. Willoughby or Lockhart want to comment on that or change any of that? I think we got the dates right.
Yeah, these are just for the College of Business.
Yes, you definitely got the dates right for College of Business.
Yes.
So those are the June 10th and June 22nd are the days that you can register for in person. And we'll also have virtual sessions June 12th and June 26th. So one thing that I do want to say about the in-person versus virtual, and I know that a lot of you are like really excited to come to campus and put boots on the ground and actually be here and meet people. I know we're really excited about it too. It's going to be really, really exciting to have folks on campus again and actually get to meet folks face to face. But I do want to stress that if you find yourself unable to come to the in-person sessions, or you've got a conflict, or you're just not comfortable yet coming to an in-person session, it's totally okay. And you're only going to get, the only thing that you will miss is the actual tactile experience of being on campus. The virtual sessions give exactly the same information. You will still be able to play with your schedule with a faculty member. So all of the things about the virtual sessions are very similar to what you will get in the sessions in person. No, you won't be on campus, but don't feel that you're missing out on any important information if you have to participate in virtual. The other thing that I'll say about the in-person days is that what Drs. Fabia and Lamacchia have been talking about for this session, which is the classes and the academic portions, which is a huge part of your time here at Bloomsburg. It's not the only part though. So some of the things that you will also get to learn at orientation, you'll get to see a dorm room that might be the dorm room that you're actually living in the fall. You'll get to visit the Scranton Commons, which is our major kind of food court area. You'll get to meet a bunch of people, meet a bunch of students, actually, students who are currently enrolled at the university, our orientation leaders, we call them HOWLs here. So there'll be a lot of other information coming your way that is in addition to your academics. So we really want to make the day kind of a holistic introduction to things. We also know that it's completely okay if you don't remember all of this stuff. One of the reasons that we're having these sessions now virtually is so that you'll be a little bit more prepared when you get to orientation. And orientation is just to make you a little bit more prepared for when you come to campus in August. If you've been to the orientation website, you can see that there's kind of an orientation season going on now, which I really love. Being a former theater person, I feel like it's a season of shows. But so you can participate in a bunch of different activities that kind of lead up to your arrival on campus in August for the start of the fall semester. So new student orientation is just one of the bits that kind of contribute to your preparation to entering as a first-year student with all of the tools necessary for your success here at BU. And I will also mention that Welcome Week provides you with even more information and tools for those things as well. So when you move in the week before classes begin, you'll also get a chance to meet people and do things and learn things that will be helpful to you when classes start on the 23rd. So please do get registered for orientation if you haven't already, whether that's in person or virtual sessions. Get in touch with us if you have questions about anything. As we've been saying here, one of the most important things that you can do is communicate with folks here at BU. We're all here to help you, but we don't often know what you need until you ask. So if you've got transfer credits coming in, or if you've got AP credits coming in, that's just one example of something that we need to know about that you need to tell us. But if you've got questions about stuff, we're happy to entertain those ideas too. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. I know that one thing I've been doing during these sessions, throwing my email into the chat, which is one way you can get in touch with us. You can also, if you want to get in touch with Elena or I, you can email the Student Advisement Center. We've got lots of information about general education credits and programs. So, you know, if you're thinking about exploring outside of the College of Business, we can help you with that as well. So don't hesitate to get in touch. I know. I can tell you folks are in sales.
Stay here. Stay here.
You really, this college has a tremendous number of resources to make our students successful. So it's an awesome opportunity. But I have to just mention that we support other majors as well,
yes,
friends.
You do. Yes. Yes. They're not as good as ours, but they are good majors.
It's that competitive spirit and the sales mentality that I'm seeing right now.
We're competitive. We are competitive. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Willoughby.
That's you're welcome.
Good information. Okay, let's see what we got next. We just have, does anybody have any additional questions or anybody want to add anything? Elena, do you want to say anything, or Dr. Willoughby or Dr. Fabia, do you want to add anything? I just want to say myself that I get very excited for the freshman class each year coming in, and I'm especially excited this year to get back on campus. I just feel excited to be back in my IT lab, in my 3D printing lab, working with my students. I just am really looking forward to a bright future. So, do you want to add anything, Dr. Fabia?
No, I echo that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of looking at little black boxes on my screen.
Yes. Yes. We're ready to come back. And the building is beautiful. The campus is beautiful. The sports activities are fun. The rec center is terrific. The campus is like a country club. It's really, really nice. So I think that you'll enjoy yourself here and have a very successful 4 years that are going to launch you into a tremendous future. I really feel very confident about that with our connections with industry. I know Dr. Fabia's group and my group and the other majors at the College of Business have a very intricate network of folks at different size businesses, small, medium, and large, that are dying to get our majors. They know the quality that they're getting. So for internships or permanent jobs. So I'm just looking forward to the future.
So do any of you have questions? You can put them in the chat if you're shy.
Let's see what we got in the chat here.
Do we have anything? Nope.
Nope. Nope, nothing in the chat.
A driven but quiet group.
We did a great job. There's no
You
questions.
did do a good job. That was an excellent presentation.
And we always answer our email. Dr. Favia answers it within 2 seconds.
Don't oversell it, Carolyn.
No, it's true. It's unbelievable, that woman.
Some days I'm great, some days not so great.
Well, 2 to 10 seconds, and I'm more like an hour or two. She's unbelievable. That woman is unbelievable. Getting her stuff done.
Don't get their expectations up too high.
I do have a question in the Q&A. Will we get to eat in the dining hall at orientation? Actually, yes. So there will be lunch is part of, I think, both sessions of orientation at different times. But yeah, if you want to visit the dining hall, that will be an opportunity for you then if you're coming to campus.
Yeah, it's fun. And there's all different dining halls. There's the main one, and there's several other different ones throughout the campus. So
One of the
it's
things-
fun.
And actually, the food really is pretty good. It's a whole lot better than when I was an undergraduate. Let me tell you.
My goodness, it's very good. It is. I choose to eat there.
Yeah.
So it is really good. And my husband purports to be a chef.
I just want to add about questions. You're one of, 8,000 students. I mean, ask questions. If you don't know who to go to, or, you reach out to your advisor and you don't, they say they answer very quickly, and yes, they do, but you can always come to the advisement center.
Mhm.
If we're a good resource. If we don't know the answer, we're going to point you in the right direction. It's, so many students come to our office. It's like, no, you don't need to be here. You need to contact financial aid, or you need to contact the bursar. But you need to ask questions. And a lot of times students will come in, they're in a panic. My roommate has these classes. She said I need them. Everybody's different. Okay. Your roommate may have taken AP classes, so she's on to other classes. Everyone is different. So you need to ask questions. If you don't want to go to your advisor, come to the advisement center. And like I said, we'll point you in the right direction.
I see a question in the chat.
Oh, and I love this question.
A good
Can I
one.
take this question first?
Go for it.
Okay, a gentleman asked, there was a lot of talk about getting us ready for professional employment. What about readiness for self-employment? And I teach in information technology, and technology is the same, whether it's a small, medium, or large business. Also, it's the same over time. Like, we think that technology changes radically over time. It really doesn't. There's only about 24 design principles about technology. And I am older than dirt. They've been the same since I was in school, and I understand it. So I am able to pick up all new technologies, and I teach state of the art things. And our students can take those technologies and create their own business right out of their own home. You can set up your own business out of your own home, and we will show you how to establish a website, how to write, and Dr. Fabia's group is very much involved in this area, how to set up a fulfillment center, somebody that's going to collect the money and process the orders, create the database, somebody that is going to deliver your product. You can even outsource the production of your own design. You can be your own entrepreneur. You need a foundation in business.
That's what I was going to say. Yep.
It's important when you're in business to know the foundation of accounting, finance, marketing, management, IT. And then you need to know when you don't know enough and need help in certain areas, or you know enough to create your own creativity and launch your own product. So what we teach is not just for big business. It's not for small or medium. It's for anybody that just wants to enter the commerce area. Am I right, Dr. Fabia? Because I made a list of my students that have graduated, and some are entrepreneurs. Some work for small business, some work for government, some work in the healthcare industry, some are consultants, some work for manufacturing companies, some work for insurance companies. There is a wide variety, small, medium, large, or self-employed, and they get the background from our area because you understand you got the business core and you learn how to be a specialist in a certain area so that you're able to get a job, you have a skill, but you do understand business so you can launch yourself in your own self-employment. I often see the path of someone getting out of school. Some folks have a terrific idea and they're able to get themselves, because we have like the Husky Dog Pound, and they're able to get some, I even heard a rumor about maybe some capital angel investors that might happen in the College of Business, but they're able to get themselves, that's a very small percentage though, get themselves moving into their own business, tiny, tiny percentage. Most folks that go off into their own business end up working for someone else, learning about an industry, because all industries are different, right, Dr. Fabia? They're different. They learn deep about an industry. They work for somebody else. They pull in the paycheck. They pull in the employee benefits.
They get the experience.
And they start on their own where they have low risk, and then they can cut the apron strings and launch on their own. That's a bigger or more popular method for students. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Fabia? Because it's highly risky to start your own business right from the get-go unless you have a grandmom with a lot of money that wants to give it to you.
I'll give you two examples. I'll give you two examples. A friend of mine's daughter, and I get it. It's one of the things I always wanted to do. She's looking at a country inn. She'd like to do something, a B&B or a country inn. And and her and her husband found one. And so she's sitting there saying to me, I'm having difficulty doing a business plan for this. Well, you're going to learn how to do a business plan with us. All right. That's one of the requirements in one of your classes will be to write a business plan. So in order to apply for
financing at a bank.
Exactly.
You don't have the business plan, or the bank's not going to give you money.
Bingo. So she's, she doesn't have the background, and she's like, I'm Aunt Monica because I've known her mom and her. We've been friends for forever. And she's like, Aunt Monica, I'm having tough time doing the business plan. And I said, well, do you have the company, this B&B? I said, do you have their financial statements? Send me their financial statements. And so she does that. And I'm like, oh my God, Amanda, you're not going to get a loan for this. You're not going to get a loan for this. Okay. But she didn't have the background to be able to look at that. You're going to get that kind of a background with us. All right. to be able to figure out if you're going to do this, where does it make sense to do it? How do I do it? How do I write a business plan? What is that? How do I apply for this stuff? I'll give you another example to go to what Dr. Lamacchia said, and this is a relative of mine. He started in sales. He's been in sales for forever, right? And the area he specialized in was food processing equipment. And he got to the point where he knew the engineering of that equipment intricately. He was able to figure out how to improve it in one area. And because of his various contacts, he found a manufacturer to make this particular piece of equipment with his new specifications. He's gone out on his own. All right, now his first sale. Now, granted, it's been a while. He's been in doing this for a number of years, okay, because he got that experience. But his first sale out on his own was for a $5 million piece of equipment. Okay, so he had to pay the manufacturer $4.5 million for the equipment, but $5 million or $500,000 was his commission. Not bad.
Not bad.
Right? Not bad. So
That's
he's now.
The great thing about an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
it's not so much the idea or the know-how, it's the willingness to take the risk.
Yep.
That's a very risky thing. Also, I don't know if in your experience, but in mine, entrepreneurs, oftentimes their company is their life.
Yeah.
At least for a number of years. But we do train you that if you want to be self-employed, that
You'll have the tools.
you'll have the tools.
You'll have the tools.
You're full. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Mark.
We probably went overboard. But
Yes, we did.
The other thing too, I want to add one more thing to this, because you said about getting ready for professional. We've talked about getting ready for professional employment. What about readiness for self-employment? One other thing, going back to that ZIPT program, even if you are self-employed, you are still going to need to have the ability to present yourself in a professional manner to potential clients, to people who are going to loan you money. All right. You're still going to need to have the ability to do that. All right. And that's one of the things we also will teach you.
That's excellent, Dr. Fabia. Any other questions? Oh, we got somebody. You all do wonders. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I hope I got an A or at least an A minus. Sometimes I ask my students to grade me. I try to get A's. Sometimes I get a B. It's fun. We're here because we're having fun. A lot of folks in the College of Business are on their second and final career.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent most of my life in IT consulting, and I'm here because I'm having fun working with students and teaching, and most of our faculty members have industry experience. And I think that separates us from other institutions. We are not a research institution, although we do the research to maintain our accreditation. We are an applied, hands-on. I've been in the mud. I know what's going on out there. I have industry connections. I've done the work. And most of our faculty members are what I would call that type of folks. Wouldn't you say, Dr. Fabian?
Yeah, I'd say that the vast majority of them are.
Vast majority have worked.
Although, unlike you, I've had like 3 or 4, maybe 5 different. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. This might be my 5th career. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in IT forever, and then I moved over to teaching. So,
well, as I
this
tell
is my fun career.
I tell my students, I've sold everything from time. Or I'm sorry, I've sold everything from shoes to time. Okay, selling time is advertising, radio or TV advertising. That's selling time. So
Mhm.
I've sold everything from shoes to time.
If there are no other questions, I want to take a minute to thank Dr. Fabia and Dr. Lamacchia and Elena for joining us tonight, and for all you spending time with us on a lovely spring evening, to learn more
On the beginning of
about
a
this.
holiday weekend.
Yes, that too. So
I have to
been
work tomorrow.
just one more day, one more day. But for taking the time to come and learn some things about the Zeigler College of Business and your potential programs that you might be enrolling in the fall, I really appreciate your taking the time. I am going to start a flurry of emails in the chat so that you have some contacts. So that is my email address. Again, Elena and I work in academic advisement and can help you with all kinds of general education questions and or other stuff that you might encounter on campus. Oh, I've got somebody raising their hand.
Yep.
Alex, do you want to just unmute yourself and ask a question? Actually, maybe the webinar won't let you do that.
Okay. I put in my email. I think Dr. Fabia should.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
While Dr.
Oh,
Fabia
asking you to
is
type.
typing, I want to say I have the best major. No, I have a terrific major in the College of Business, and I'm happy to talk
And she's gone.
about it.
Uh-oh, there
So
she-
I put
okay.
in my email, CLAMCCH. And Dr. Fabia has a terrific major also, and she has her email in there.
The student who had his hand raised, do you want to put it in the chat?
Yeah, if you can type it. I apologize if you're unable to use your microphone.
Can
It
you
might,
can you unmute him?
let me see. Maybe I can.
I just hit a button that says allow participants to unmute themselves. And I just hit that button. And I see Alex Nelson.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I clicked it on accident. Like the like the hand raise button.
Did you want to ask the question?
No, I clicked it on accident.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we'll just leave you alone. I'm going to mute you then, okay? There, I muted you. Okay, he's muted. Is there anybody else?
So I'll re-emphasize our emphasis on communication.
Yes.
So don't hesitate to email us, get in touch. It's no problem, Alex. All kinds of, if that's the worst technological glitch we have in
Oh,
these
please,
sessions,
Alex.
it'll be fine.
Yes, totally fine.
The last
I
email
appreciate
that
you.
I'll put in here is just the general email for academic advisement. Where you can reach a variety of different people, but please, 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 as we've been saying, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's how you learn. And we're going to be encouraging you to do that in classes as well as in these orientation sessions. So please don't be shy. Please do ask your questions. There are no silly questions. This is a completely new thing for you. So we're totally fine answering any question you might have. Again, I thank you for spending some time with us tonight, and we are super excited to be seeing you in a couple of weeks here on campus.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Yes.
Happy Memorial Day. And thank you, Dr. Willoughby and Lockhart, for helping us promote this. We appreciate it. We love talking about the College of Business, don't we, Dr. Fabia?
For sure.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.